Let's Talk Business, brought to you by Reality NXT. This is Pradhanjali Rawal. While COVID-19 pandemic triggered worldwide disruptions, it enabled people to take home buying as a serious investment. Among the uncertainties surrounding the current market situation, people have understood the security of owning a house. Several factors are reshaping the home loan market, such as the cheaper home loans and RBI moratorium. India's home loan market is slated to grow at a CAGR of around 22% during 2021 to 2026. On today's episode, we'll talk to Mr. Manish Shah, Managing Director, Godrej Housing Finance, to know more about home finance trends. Hello, Mr. Shah. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing today?
Doing very well. Thanks, Vidhanjali. Thank you for having me, and hello to all your viewers.
Thanks so much. So my first question to you is, how would you summarize the year 2020 with regards to the business trends across the industry?
So certainly, like no other, none of us could have predicted what happened, in the first quarter of the lockdown, and for sure, challenging first two quarters. But like a lot of other people, we're very surprised by how quickly the turnaround has been. The trends that we see specifically in our industry, home sales, the trends that we see in terms of consumer interest, end user interest. We were fortunate enough to have launched in November. In some ways, you could say, therefore, we didn't have a good sense of what would have happened, through the lockdown, had we launched earlier. But from what we see in the last, if the last 2 or 3 months are any indication, we're very encouraged by what we're seeing in the form of consumer interest, in the form of consumers making that decision now. Of course, they've been helped a fair amount both on the supply side and on the demand side, and I'll talk more about it as we go along. But just there's been, suffice it to say, there's been a fair amount of tailwind in the form of government support, policy support, options available to them, the cost of financing have all to come, have come together all nicely, and I think make for a very good current quarter.
So, I was actually surfing the internet and I was comparing rates, and we came across that the interest rate offered by you has been one of the lowest in the industry. So how has it helped you to drive more conversions?
Our objective is to essentially help buyers and work with industry. Our goal is to be, to assist and facilitate and give the buyer an option, a better home buying option. Now, really, it starts with the quality of your product, and within the product, of course, making it attractive is hugely important. We're a new player, we're launching, it's important for us to make an impact. And, without a doubt, you have to be competitive as far as, the rate of interest is concerned, because at the end of the day, it is, nobody desires a home loan for its own sake, right? It's about what you can facilitate. And it's the asset, it's the home that the buyer is really after. And making it affordable, making it possible for them to be able to afford that home is critical. And what we've seen, by having launched aggressively that we did 2 months ago, what we've seen is significant buyer interest. We're very happy with the acceptance, and we expected that, but it's one thing to expect it pre-launch, it's another to see it happen, see it unfolding in front of our eyes. The acceptance that the brand has, the reputation of trust and goodwill that the brand enjoys, and we've been quite encouraged to see that translating, that demand translating into consumer traction, disbursals of loans.
You are offering a lower interest rate and offering higher loan eligibility. Does this impact the possibility of tomorrow to have a higher loan defaults in your portfolio?
Actually, it's a lot more nuanced than that. It's not, there is no one size fits all, neither on our pricing, nor on our eligibility norms, or what we use to underwrite customers. So we have a fairly nuanced grid. That grid, the pricing grid, essentially takes into account, the profile of the borrower, credit scores, income. It's a mix of a few things. And then we have a fairly detailed and a much deeper grid than a lot of our competition. What that really means is offering all things to all people is neither wise for us, nor does it actually work for all consumers. So from what we are seeing, in the first 500 odd applications that we were able to process, what we're seeing really is actually buyers have turned fairly cautious. Our average loan to ratio is about 65%. Loan to value ratio, I beg your pardon, is about 65%. And the scores are a lot higher than we had originally anticipated. So if anything, we feel encouraged to look at doing more on the product front, looking at more innovation to serve customers better. And we're not so worried about the fact that at low rates and being able to deliver real value to customers, what it does on the risk side. I think we're quite happy with the balance that we're seeing at the current moment.
Please tell us about the hurdles which you are facing currently while acquiring home loans, and what kind of solution Godrej Housing Finance will provide to these problems.
I think the hurdles are, they're not new and it's not unique to us.
Okay.
A lot of the hurdles have to do, so let's break it up into a few parts. One key hurdle that a buyer faces is just the ability to be able to put down a certain of money in order to buy a home while still servicing an existing, either servicing an existing mortgage or an EMI, or paying rent. Several other hurdles in terms of choice of asset. Are you able to get the kind of home that you like at the price points? None of this is new. So broadly, when you look at what a buyer is looking at, you have got, or let me put it differently. If you look at what we bring to the table and what we're bringing to the Indian market for the Indian consumer, is about four things broadly. One is on really the last few years have seen a fair amount of trust erosion both in certain developers and in certain financiers. So one of the things that we bring, and like some of the other players that already exist, some very strong, well-known players. But what the first thing that a buyer looks for, and the first hurdle that we need to cross is, can a buyer trust who the partner is? So, because look, people are committing to a, multi-decadal relationship. It's a 10-year product, 15-year product, often 25 or 30 years even. So the first thing is, can I trust the partner? Is the lender bankable? That's the first hurdle, and I think we do quite well there. The second thing which is at the heart of the proposition itself, which is essentially around affordability and flexibility. How easy is it for us to get started? If I am a buyer, I do like a particular product, a particular property. How easy is it for me to buy it? How affordable is it? Affordability is more than just interest rate. Of course, interest rate plays a huge part, the fees involved. But how affordable is it in terms of how much do I need to pay now? How much later? Can we start small and grow it over a period of time? Add to that flexibility. Can we vary how I bring in my own contribution? It goes without saying that buyers understand that they need to put down their own, they need to put down a certain amount of equity in a home. But can you facilitate it? Can you help me make it easier? Can I come in small and grow over a period of time? So the second hurdle or the opportunity or the USP, whatever you call it, really is around structuring affordability and flexibility in the product that makes it easier to go ahead and take that decision to buy a home. The third thing is really buyers face hurdles around the delivery of the product itself, the process. Just the ease with which, how soon can you commit to me that I will get the loan? Can you help me decide with confidence? So for instance, we found a fair amount of favor with customers when we help them with instant sanctions. So let's imagine you, Mridanjali, are at a project, you like an apartment, and you've got a lot going through your mind in terms of how am I going to be able to afford it. Right. What we've been experimenting with in projects, when customers are in projects, in 15 to 20 minutes, we give them an instant sanction. That gives you a broad in principle approval based on certain things parameters that you inputted or helped our person with and they inputted, that give you a sense that you can decide with confidence. So how good is the delivery? How seamless will it be to get this loan? Can you give me a decision quickly? Can you do almost all of it digitally? Can we sort of, keep the whole back and forth to a minimum? We've done well there and we have a lot more coming up. So a month from now, our ambition is we should be able to, just like you and I are having a conversation right now, we should be able to do this digitally and give you a confirmed sanction in a matter of hours instead of days as it currently takes, so that you can decide with confidence. Last but not the least, really is the hurdle. See, a lot of people buy homes under construction, right? You buy it at a launch or you buy it a year or two away from possession. And there is a lot more to a loan. There's a lot more to the service post disbursal than a lot of people, think. It is about tranche disbursals, about the ease with which you can instruct your lender, to make construction linked payments, to your developer. The quality of coordination between the three. A lot of hurdles people face is that the onus on coordination falls on the buyer, on the home buyer. To keep check on the construction link, on the, how the slabs are progressing, to keep sort of to work that coordination. So broadly, these are the four things that if you get wrong, it stresses the buyer out. It often is a reason for them not to proceed. And these are the four things also we'd like to think of. These are the four things we are building USPs around.
Please tell us what sets you, Godrej Housing Finance, apart from all your competitors?
In many ways, my previous answer, and I'll try and rephrase that a little bit. I think firstly, just the trust that the group enjoys. And, that commitment from us that we'll be as open, transparent, straightforward. And, we take the legacy, the 123-year-old legacy of our brand very seriously. And being open and transparent is very integral to what we do. So even when you have that, it's rare for a consumer to get an instant sanction on his or her email before you've even left the construction site. You've gone to see it, you will get a commitment from us basis the information you've given us. The second thing really is, and you'll see a lot more of this unfold, we're 2 months old. A lot of our work is, a lot of our product construction is work in progress. But what you will see with us is much better options for buyers in making affordability and flexibility work for them. Can I start small and grow my payment plan? So design your own payment plans, design your repayments. So flexibility and affordability built into the product. The quality and seamlessness of the delivery. We aren't where we'd like to be, and we expect rapid progress over the next few weeks. But this ability, so for example, video KYC, this ability to deliver the loan. Ideally, we'd like to get to a point, and we'd like to work with industry where buyers are able to view a home, decide on the purchase of the home, pay the token, and get approved for the loan without ever visiting the site. So and especially in a partnership that we have with our first, with our parent group company, Godrej Properties, our ambition is that over the next 2 months, you should be able to, especially if you're stuck in large city traffic, you should be able to view a sample flat digitally. And when you're, on your way to that particular project, you should be able to like an apartment and get approved for your loan before you even reach the site, so that you can focus, on the joy in home buying instead of the stress of home financing. And finally, really is what we'd like to do to back all of this up post sales. Just in terms of the ease with which you can manage your loan, the ease with which you can, make tranche disbursals, view status, and all of that. Now, all of this coming together with an extremely competitive product. You mentioned at the start of our conversation that our rates are among the most competitive. We're going to keep pushing the envelope to benefit the buyer in how we can make it easier on the documentation, how we can fetch documentation digitally, how we can do things like, your video KYC and all of that. So all of these put together, we believe is a solid proposition for the customer. We're seeing this, having gotten started over the last 65, 70 days that we've been in business.
Okay, that sounds great. So please tell us, what is your prediction for the year of 2021 in terms of customer sentiment? So last quarter of 2020 could have been an impact of pent-up demand triggered by government subsidies. But right. Will the momentum of last quarter sustain throughout 2021?
Right. So as predictions go, I've never known an expert, including myself, that can actually, accurately predict what's going to happen tomorrow, let alone what's going to happen for the whole year. But I think we feel very optimistic about the fact that last quarter is not a flash in the pan. And the reason we think so is really it's no one factor that's impacted it, right? So if you look at the various pillars supporting why we believe 2021 and why we're optimistic about the coming year, you've got government support, significant help in assisting on stuck projects, giving a strong sort of boost to liquidity. That's translated into developers being able to finish more projects. That's resulted in people being able to start new projects. Add to that, you've got things like the stamp duty cut that Maharashtra did. We're hopeful that seeing the elasticity that produced, more will happen on that front. So you've got policy assistance. A lot of the RBI provided liquidity assistance has also resulted in giving in the lowest ever loan rates. Now, if you look at it from a buyer's perspective, you've got the lowest rates we've ever had in this country. You've got apartment prices that have been quite reasonable for a while now. They've either not increased much, or they have stagnated or reduced even in some cases. And you've got an expectation that job cuts were nowhere near as severe as it was thought in May of last year. You've in fact got an expectation of salary hikes coming up this cycle. When you put all of this together, you've got affordability at a 20-year high. You've got government support, and you've got if the last few quarters is anything to go by, an increased preference in buyers looking for certainty, looking to put down money, lay down roots, and get an apartment instead of renting it. And if you look at, for instance, just mathematically speaking, renting an apartment has always costed us consumers about between 2 and 3% of the property price. 5 years ago, borrowing used to be at about 9-10%. So the difference used to be 7-8% almost. Now, renting costs the same amount, but buying costs your mortgage is thereabouts of between 7 and 8. So the spread has gone down. So there's no one factor last quarter which may or may not play out in the last in the coming year. And add to all of this, hopefully all of us will get vaccinated and move forward with a lot more confidence as far as COVID is concerned. So we're very optimistic. We're very bullish about 2021, being able to carry on what we saw in the last quarter.
So please define 2020 with the help of 5 set of numbers like loan disbursed, number of customers converted, male to female ratio, etc.
Very interesting question. This is a bit challenging only because 2020 for us is about 6 or 7 weeks of operation. But just looking at where we are, 2020 meant 150 customers served, which is loan bookings. Our goal was that our first goal, our most important goal actually was not financial. It was that we should be able to serve and satisfy 1,000 customers from the time that we launch until March 31st. So. And of course, the first 20 days of January haven't been too bad either. So first sort of number is 150 of the 1,000 were done by December. And we feel quite confident of meeting that 1,000 by the end of March. We have about just the nature of, these were largely focused on our initial partnership with Godrej Properties. Actually, thinking of our November, December, I don't have an accurate number, but we believe the main borrower, the main applicant, male to female ratio, I'll get back to you on what that was. I don't have it offhand, but more than half of our consumers applied jointly. So there were both male and female borrower in the same application. But I can't remember, I can't recall offhand which was the main applicant proportion. Thankfully, our satisfaction scores so far, the number that we track very, very closely, is a significant positive percentage in the number of customers who are satisfied, who would recommend us to other people borrowing to buy homes. So these are some key numbers for us for the last year. However, keep in mind these are 7 weeks of business.
Okay, so I just have one last question for you. The stimulus was given to the real estate industry as a whole by central and state government. Has it helped improve customer sentiments?
I certainly think so. If you look at, and just as some data points, you look at, Mumbai home sales, for instance, just with the stamp duty cut, we're taking it from 5 to 2 until December and then to 3% until March. I certainly think so. I certainly think the liquidity boost, just the RBI operations that infuse liquidity in the system, has been a great boost. The low rates that you see today have, owe a lot to the RBI moves. So we are very bullish on the fact that continued support to the industry, and of course we are. I guess you could call us an offshoot of the real estate business, because really we finance the real estate asset, but we have no doubt that the stimulus measures across different regulators and central and state governments have been immensely positive, and we look forward to more of that in 2021.
Okay, that sounds great. So thank you so much for joining us. It was an insightful session, and we are looking forward how 2021 turns out for Godrej Housing Finance. Good luck. And for the viewers of Reality NXT, we'll come back with many more episodes. Please stay tuned and keep watching Reality NXT. Thank you.
Thanks very much.